Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Lacey, Washington for Game 2 of today's basketball doubleheader. Game 1 between Alaska Anchorage and St. Martin's had the St. Martin's women's team emerging victorious for the first time in head coach Christy Martin's tenure. And here we have a similar situation. Head coach Aaron Landon has also never beat Alaska Anchorage. That's been a big part of COVID that has helped make that happen, as they met 2 times his inaugural season. They didn't meet in the COVID season, and they lost both times last season. Shaquem Alcindor puts in the quick bucket, and we're underway with a 2-0 lead for St. Martin's.
Well, why not? We got one Alaska Anchorage monkey off the back. Why not make it 2 tonight?
The starting lineups presented by Pints Doghouse are Caleb Larson, A.J. Garrity, Tyson Gilbert, Dathan Satchel, and Evan Hoosier for the Alaska Anchorage Seawolves. On the other side, wearing white and going from right to left on your screen in this first half, Brandon Bunn, Kyle Greeley, Jaden Nielsen-Skinner, Hunter Sipe, and Shaquem Alcindor. Here's a battle between Alcindor and Hoosier, and the shot clock is just going to end up expiring. A great first offensive possession and a great first defensive possession. My name's Scott Gladstone. Sean Wally's beside me. We are just under a minute gone. We're excited to bring you 40 more minutes of high-quality GNAC basketball.
I don't know what Evan Hoosier was doing there. He looked surprised that the shot clock expired.
Missed shot by Kyle Greeley. Nearly an offensive board as it was lost around, but nobody reached to the feet. And the Seawolves in green and yellow pick it up and throw it to the student section. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers by Alaska Anchorage and head coach Rusty Osborne's men.
Those Seawolves come in at 3-5 in conference, 9-8 overall on the season. St. Martin's 6-2 in conference, 14-4 overall.
Most recently, as Bunn fires a 3 and sinks it, 5-0. The Alaska Anchorage Seawolves took a loss down in Monmouth, Oregon against the just regular Wolves down there.
The battle of the Wolves.
That one's off the back heel, still kept alive, now trapped in the corner, but only briefly. Now Hoosier has it. The St. Martin Saints down the fellow GNAC foe, Alaska Fairbanks, here on Thursday night.
Nice behind-the-back dribble.
Rims out off back iron. Hunter Sipe gets the board before Shaquem Alcindor collects. Cross-court pass, low pass for Greeley. Body hitting the floor. And a ball hitting the bottom of the net. Kyle Greeley.
Couldn't have a better start for Aaron Landon and his ball club. 8-0. Oh, wow.
Oh, they're going to call a foul, and that's the only thing that seems to be able to stop the Saints right here. As full student section starting to fill out on a Saturday night. We got the pep band, we got the cheerleaders, and everybody's feeling good because this could be a full Alaskan sweep week for the Saints, as the women got the job done twice, the men trying to perform the same.
Right? Can you imagine the bragging rights if the men don't do it and the women did?
Yeah. Hunter Sipe, steal, finish. Tough finish. Timeout by Rusty Osborne. The 19th year coach has seen enough before needing to take a break. We will take our first break, 10-0. Saints flying out of the gate. Back here as the full court press is put on by the Saints right now. We saw them do this in the Alaska Fairbanks game. When things started to go their way, they got even more aggressive into their press, really gave headaches to the Nanooks. And here the Seawolves break the press. Hoosier with it, the big man, 32 on 32 as Shaquem Alcindor still in the game guarding him. Looking for their first bucket are the guys in green. 11 working on 11 here. The fadeaway, nearly a nice touch. The offensive board, and A.J. Garrity puts in the first bucket. The Huntington Beach, California native makes it 10-2.
Ooh. Bun.
Well, that'll do. He had an open look. He waited for the defender to come to him, and then he said, I'll make it with a guy in my face. That'll do. 13-2 Saints. Again, the Seawolves beat the press. Now it's Caleb Larson going all the way before Shaquem Alcindor gets a piece of him to slow up play.
Great energy to start for St. Martin's. A lot of fans in attendance as well as the pep band. The cheer staff is here. Still have a good part of the evening and the night after hopefully a Saints victory. So
yeah, it'll be a lot of fun, especially with the women's team performing the sweep. The guys right here trying to follow suit, and it'll be dreams of SMU basketball wins until at least next Thursday when they get back underway. Tyke Thompson checks in for the first time. He's playing defense right now.
Nice roll of the R.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why I did that. It just felt good. Saints feeling good. I'm feeling good after that exciting women's victory. You know, here we are. Sonner Sipe with it after a missed three on the other side. That was Jaden Bradley that missed the three. Pump fake bun, out. Sipe misses a shot, and it seemed like that was almost a glitch that didn't go down the way the Saints have come out firing early. There's an off-balance shot and a nice shot from Dathan Satchel. Coming the other way, Tyke Thompson gets it. Tyke Thompson, oh my word, he had poster thinking, but then he went and transferred it to a layup, but committed a charge on the way. Great charge taken by Tyson Gilbert. Now we'll have our first media time out of this contest. Started 10-0 Saints, but Fairbanks has scored 5 of the last 8. 13-5 as we take a quick break. Back here, there is 15:49 to go in the first half. Scott Gladstone and Sean Wally with you, bringing GNAC basketball from Marcus Pavilion here, Lacey, Washington. About an hour or so, depending on traffic, south on the interstate from Seattle, Washington. I'm sure tomorrow, likely, or maybe tonight, this Alaska Anchorage squad will fly out of SeaTac Airport. That one is Jerron Williams who puts it in. 13-7 as Hunter Sipe gets it now out to Tyke Thompson. Brandon Bunn with it. 5 on the floor for the Saints are Skinny, Bunn, Greeley, Thompson, and Sipe. Bunn with it now. They're creating a lot of space, and it's in the end a Hunter Sipe look, a Tyke Thompson put back.
If it can go right for St. Martin's, it is the quicker player, the extra ball movement, the tap in for the bucket.
Tyke Thompson is wearing a brace on his right hand. I remember after the game when Tyke Thompson came up for the interview, it was Aaron Landon that said man, I hope that's just a jam finger for him. It seems to be a little bit more than that as he is wearing that brace. And a three-pointer the other way has Anchorage back within 5. This Anchorage squad, as of right now, a little bit of a shell of what they were most of the season as Bunn fires a three, goes off front iron and out of bounds. Their star player, most consistent player in the first part of the season, Dazon Weish, is no longer on the roster. So that means they're losing an average of 15.8 points per game, 3.7 rebounds, the leader in assists on the team as well. A huge loss, also the leader in steals. Just a huge loss for the Seawolves, and part of the reason that they faltered down in Monmouth a couple days ago. Backdoor cut, nearly intercepted, got it back, and a nice finish from Tyson Gilbert on the reverse. One possession game now.
Nice job by the Seawolves to claw back in this one.
Ever since that Rusty Gilbert timeout, as Champ Spencer fires away and puts it in from distance.
Not a lot Gilbert can do. He had good defense, had his hands up. Good shot's a good shot.
Coming the other way now, Anchorage. Stuffed by either Tyke Thompson or Nathaniel Stokes. I don't know if you had a better view, but there were two hands that were slapping that ball away. And number 3, Sawyer Storms, is going to have to reconsider his options as he gets the inbound. Oh, my goodness. Well, you get blocked one possession, you get the possession back, and you just somehow evaporate the defense to go up for the slam.
6'7" junior out of Idaho Falls.
You know what the minor league baseball team in Idaho Falls is, Sean?
No.
I'm sure Storms' family knows. They're the Idaho Falls Chuckers. Chukars. Christian Hafner with a bucket. Chucks it in.
And what do they chuck in Idaho Falls?
That's the proverbial question. But it's a type of bird, kind of like a ground bird.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
It's very native to Idaho and Idaho Falls. It's a fun mascot. One of the best in minor league baseball as we get a foul here. Sure, if the Sawyer Storms family is watching down there, they know plenty. Hopefully they've been to a Chuckers game or two. Former affiliate of the Kansas City Royals. $12:49 to go. 20-14. Saints in man-to-man defense here.
What a spin.
Yeah, nice spin to create space. Stokes couldn't get up a hand, and then he will get fouled on the rebound. First foul on the Seawolves today.
Seawolves going with a smaller, quicker lineup. Looking at their roster, they do have 2 6'9" players. But the Saints down low have the size advantage at the moment.
Yeah, Nathaniel Stokes down there. Nathaniel Stokes, a lanky 6'8". Right now the Saints are essentially playing 5 out, though. Stokes can shoot the ball decent from behind the arc. They're hedging very hard on the screen. They do it right there, and they just go right into a double team after a ball screen. Back to Skinny. Skinny with 5 on the shot clock. Kick out to Hafner. He recovers, gets it. Out to Champ Spencer with the shot clock expiring. He rattles it home.
That's 2 quick ones for Spencer. So many options for long-range shooting on this Saints squad.
Champ Spencer, a lanky guy himself, 6'7" out of Sumner, Washington, but he is a very lethal shooting threat. That one goes in and out. Rebound back to the Seawolves. 3 ball on the way. Williams can't get it to go. Another offensive board. So despite the size advantage from the Saints, it seems, they're attacking the offensive glass.
Ooh.
And Tyke Thompson.
Get out.
Woo! Lightning storm there as Storm gets sent back. Jaden Nielsen Skinner for 3, can't get it to go. Christian Hafner battling for the offensive board, but it comes up green. Williams with it to the corner, nearly shuffled his feet, did number 21 Bradley. Then Bradley lost it, but he was fouled.
Looks like Thompson is asking, what did I do? Because he had good position. player runs into him, but he gets hit with the foul.
Well, when you come out of the late game with a 10-0 lead, sometimes not a lot will go your way in terms of the whistles. We'll take a quick break. 11:15 to go in the first. Back here, just over 11 minutes to go, 23-14. 2 shots upcoming for Jaden Bradley out of Aurora, Colorado. Like many on this Anchorage squad, a transfer in. He played JUCO ball at Laramie County Community College. Which I assume is in Laramie, Wyoming. Don't know much about the Rocky Mountain JUCOs. Laramie, Wyoming, of course, the home of the University of Wyoming. 2 shots made from Jaden Bradley. They get it over. Stokes has it. Stokes nearly had it taken away, or at least a jump ball. Instead, it'll be floater off glass. Not going to go for Jaden Nielsen Skinner, a.k.a. Skinny. No-look pass to Bradley, and that's Shaquem Alcindor with a rejection. And after the ball gets tipped around, it's eventually off of Storms and out of bounds. Press being put on Harry by the Seawolves. As it's all the way down the court. Sham Spencer is going to get an open look, and they will miss. Rebound on the ground. I think Shaquem Alcindor was getting tugged.
Tyson Gilbert hit with the foul, his first. Second team foul. Already 5 fouls on St. Martin's.
Skinny with it as the shot clock is winding down. Shaquem Alcindor sets a screen. Out to Stokes. 3-bomb. That was great by Joe, the PA announcer. He said 3-ball corner pocket.
He's coming for our job.
I know. Gotta switch it up with him one night at least. That one's long and hits only backboard. Whoa, 360. Hafner makes it. A 360 no-scope from Jaden Nielsen Skinner.
Whatever these basketball teams on St. Martin's side did earlier today, keep it going the rest of the way.
Yeah, exactly. Aaron, I talked to him about this as Skinny. Yep. Splash it in. Timeout, Rusty Osborne. I talked to head coach Aaron Landon about the monkey on his back of the Seawolves not losing against the Saints. And he said, people want to make this about me, but it's really about the players. They're the one playing the game, and right now they're doubling up the Seawolves. We'll be right back after the break. Ball is inbounded. We're back underway. Just a quick 30-second timeout. 9.5 to go. I believe that Alaska Anchorage is the only team in the GNAC that Aaron Landon has not beaten. That three's off the mark. Rebound, Jaden Nielsen-Skinner. Down the court, champ Spencer. Bada bing, bada bang.
3 threes in less than 11 minutes from Spencer. 11 minutes of total game time. He hasn't played those 11, though.
Bradley, turnaround. Front iron, rebound, Skinny. Saints coming up with a head of steam yet again. Stokes, he'll try. No, off the back iron. That was a heat check as a team. Williams kind of throws a wacky one, and it ends up missing and then going out off of the Seawolves. 19-point lead for the Saints already, and clearly the offense is missing Weish, and the defense just can't get SMU to miss more than 2 baskets in a row, it seems. Rusty Osborne will try out the press. Does not work there. Hafner will try from distance. Yes, sir. A shooting clinic put on. And right now, Sean, we're seeing what makes this Saints team so dangerous as they're forcing Anchorage to try and equalize them. Anchorage cannot make it at the magnitude that SMU can, and SMU, everything they're putting up turning to gold.
So many options. Hard to know who to watch out for, who to guard, who to double team. You think you got him, and somebody else. Bang.
Shaquem Alcindor. I think that might have been a no-look pass to Christian Hafner. Hafner barely gets grasp of it before he flings it off and into the bottom of the net. 41-16. Hoosiers working on Alcindor. Lost it at the feet. And now Hoosier gets it back briefly, but only before throwing it. Intercepted by Shaquem Alcindor. Skinny coming the other way. No look into Stokes. Stokes counted and one.
Everything going right for St. Martin's. I don't even think Aaron Landon drew it up this well.
Yeah, you might as well rename the Saints Midas because everything they're touching is turning to gold. It is 43-16, 7:33 to go in the first half. Back here, it's 43-16. Sky Gladstone and Sean Wally here with you. Nathaniel Stokes at the free throw line. Sean, when the other team's shooting it this good, I mean, Anchorage isn't necessarily playing bad. Maybe on the offensive end, they're struggling quite a bit. But maybe a lot of the offense is poor offense is leading to Saints offense. But at the same time, when every shot is just going in, whether it's contested or not, what do you say as a coach if you're Rusty Osborne trying to get your guys back on track here? Yeah, I mean, as they tried the press, and it clearly worked for maybe a possession or two, and then it started to backfire very quickly.
Well, it's got to start on the defensive end. You've got to find a way to slow the Saints down. When they're shooting this well, not a lot you can do, but it probably won't continue at the pace it is now.
The Saints are on a 21-0 run right now. That's bad in a football game. It is really rough on the basketball court. They're on, if we back up even further, they're on a 29-6 run. They're 6 of 7 on their last 7 3-pointers. Anchorage has not scored in over 4 minutes. Trying to get something to go down the hatch right now. Draw up a nice play, fired away, and it's missed. Rebound to the Saints. They're charging up. They're not holding back at all. They want to make this scoreboard break. That won't do it from Champ Spencer. Rebound goes to the Seawolves.
Well, you would like a new one, a nice video board up there, right?
That'd be nice. That would be nice. Probably the great thing about nice things, though, is it probably also means more work for me to create some content for that video board. But when it comes, I'll be happy to do it.
I know somebody who can help you.
Ball out. 3-pointer on the way to Long. Offensive rebound was briefly with Hoosier before a foul is called on the Saints. And the scoreless streak of 4.5 minute plus will have a chance of ending with Hoosier at the line. Hoosier on the season is just 2 for 6 from the free throw line. Hoosier only averages 7.8 minutes per game, and this is his first start of the season. First front end of the 101 is made.
Ends the long scoring drought.
Yep, sure does. 21 straight from SMU. And that shot is missed. Rebound to Hafner, or rebound to Spencer, I believe. Hafner, though, he's 4 for 4 from the field, 3 for 3 from three-point land. Brandon Bunn draws a foul, and he'll get 2 shots at the stripe. UAA, the thing that I mentioned is not only is the three-pointers for Saints boosting their score, but I think Anchorage is wanting to answer, and they're 1 for 8, and their last 8 shots from downtown, 2 for 10 on the day from behind the arc. 2 shots for Bunn here.
Saints have already hit 11 3-pointers, Scott.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's 33 of their points.
Yeah. I mean, this is the St. Martin squad that you see and you go, man, they could beat anybody in the region. You know, they could be in a fight with everybody in the country, because when they're playing like this, I don't know what you do. I don't. Brandon Bunn knocks him down. 46-17 is our score. 3-pointers, 3 hit by Hafner, 3 hit by Spencer. Stokes, Greeley, and Skinny have a pair, and Bunn has 2 threes. Here's a wide open look, and they can't get that one to go. Tipped out of bounds. Whoa, what? That was, from our angle, looked like very clearly A.J. Garrity poked that one out.
Brought Aaron Landon up out of his chair and halfway down the bench.
Ball is inbounded to the Seawolves. Drive to the lane. Good finish. Nifty from Dathan Satchel. Brandon Bunn. Just watch the Seawolf levitate there for a second, as the Saints, at this point, up big, are starting to have a lot of fun out there. Greeley, yes, sir.
Of course. What else would they do?
I mean, you're playing a game. Why not have some fun, right? Full court pass. Then another cross court pass. 3-pointer. That one's in for Tyson Gilbert. Trying to answer with a 3-pointer. Hunter Sipe, that one does not go. Sipe's 0 for 3 from three-point line, which is kind of rare for him. That one's going to be missed with a foul on Skinny.
It's a great spin in the lane by Satchel. Ball hung on the rim, just didn't fall through.
been that way on offense for the most part for Anchorage. The run right now for the Saints is still at 26-6. They started out 10-0. They put together this run and that run, and that has kind of told the tale of the tape thus far, as the front end of the pair of shots of the line is missed by Satchel. Everybody who's played for the Saints right now has at least 2 points.
Landon might have to go deep to his bench and throw us in their second half if this continues.
I played pickup last night on SMU's campus, and I wasn't horrible, so I might not be a bad option. Hafner has not missed a shot today. Hino looks to Skinny, then Sipe gets it. Sipe with the little tuck and flick, and it can't go through for him.
Good idea for Hunter. He just left it short.
Saw him on Thursday in the second half. He had one shot where he put it on his bicep and forced it in. This one's out off of Anchorage after the missed shot.
The Seawolf squad has a player from Melbourne, Australia, and also Czech Republic.
A couple international representation. They almost have more international players than they have Alaska players, as it's 3-2. Brandon Bunn from the free throw line, got it to splash. It's over 50 for SMU. They're still keeping pace, doubling up the Seawolves. Double team comes as nearly a 10-second violation. 21 on the clock when they crossed half court. Now it's Sipe guarding Gilbert. Gilbert will be fouled by Sipe. 9 fouls on the Saints. Pretty much the only thing that you can knock them for in this first half. As after the 10-0 start, whistles start to go very, very quickly against them.
Seawolves have beaten Simon Fraser and Central Washington in GNAC play.
Front end of the 101. Missed rebound goes to Greeley. Greeley's kind of had a quiet 6 tonight. I feel like I barely said his name. Speak of the devil, no look pass, and he lays it up. Skinny, the vision to find him cutting across the baseline, and then an easy 2 for KG. Williams has that one slapped away from him. And we will take a break. 3:37 to go. It's a 30-point edge for SMU. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Saints Digital Network. Back here as the pep band takes us out. This is a great energy the past couple days. The pep band is loud in our ears, and we have to scream in half times to talk to each other because we're fairly close to them. But I'll tell you what, it gives it a great feel. And, well, the Saints currently undefeated and with a 30-point lead with the pep band, both men and women. I'm not one to go crazy over superstitions, but with baseball season quickly approaching for both SMU and everybody else that plays baseball, why not have a little superstitious vibe? Ball's inbounded for the Seawolves. It's Williams with it. Passing to Larson. Now Gilbert. Gilbert to Storms. Small ball lineup yet again, as I believe Storms is the tallest player on the floor. The Saints are more than comfortable switching everything. Backdoor cut. Good find and finish. Gilbert with the bucket.
Seawolves need a lot more of that if they're going to make any type of comeback.
That ball was not tipped. Just an errant pass, but if it wasn't tipped, there might have been a foul committed that didn't go called because Hunter Sipe lost the handle on that one by quite a bit, but it's called over and back on the Saints. 3:06 to go in this first half, 53-25. Good play drawn up, three-pointer on the way, too much. Rebound bouncing around, still bouncing around, and it goes to SMU eventually. That was Hunter Sipe, Skinny, and Stokes that were all working on that one to get it to go SMU's way. Greeley backing in, turning around, putting it through.
Not a lot Rusty Osborne can do on the Seawolves bench. It's just sitting there, one leg crossed over the other, hands on his knee.
He has never shaken Aaron Landon's hand after a loss. Right now, Aaron Landon trying to get his first post-win handshake. First time feeling good, likely, when shaking Rusty Osborne's hand, as I believe the Saints lost to Anchorage last year, as Hafner is going to get an open look, and he's not going to flush that one through, so his missless streak is over. But I think it was a loss to Alaska Anchorage that the Saints, if they would have won, and that one's put through, if they would have won, they would have known right then and there that they won the conference regular season title up in Anchorage last year. But then they lost that game. They went to the locker room, and then he said they got the notification that whoever else, whatever dominoes had to fall to win them the conference, no look to Sipe down the hatch. Whatever game had to win them the conference, it happened. So then they, after losing, they still end up winning the conference. But he said losing that game to Anchorage definitely gave them kind of a sour taste in their mouth because they never got their full celebration that they would have wanted because they still felt sour after the loss. Stokes with it to Skinny. Skinny down to Greeley. Greeley tripped up a little bit, but then out to Sipe. Sipe, rotation and through.
Good to see Hunter drop a triple. He had missed his last couple. Getting back on track. The Olympia native.
At this pace, man, everybody on the Saints team might score double figures. We've got 11, 10, 10, 9, 8, and 6. That's how many players are on pace to put in more than 10 points in terms of their points total right now. A bucket for Anchorage. Now the Saints will dribble the clock down for last shot. There's about a half-second differential between game and shot. Greeley with it. Greeley, Skinny, Sipe, Hafner, and Stokes on the floor. 10 on the clock. Skinny pulls up. Nearly gets it to rattle. Sipe offensive board. That won't go. And a full court heave or a half court heave will hit the shot clock above the basket. Sean, not a lot to say for this first half except the Saints are playing really good. They're shooting really good. They're playing really good defense. They have some fouls, but not much to clean up on their side. For Anchorage, lots of work to do.
If I'm Coach Landon, I say great job, fellas. Keep it up. And back into the bench. Get ready.
And if you're Coach Rusty Osborne, you're going to have a lot of work to be doing in the locker room. We're going to go take a quick break. 61-29 at the halfway mark. Saints lead going into the locker room.
far away. 9 on that one. So Rose and Silsna, congratulations. You are now world champion. That's right, world champion.
St. Martin's is ahead of Alaska Anchorage. Sky Gladstone and Sean Wally with you. Sean, there is quite a bit of disparities, including the main one on the scoreboard. Look at three-pointers, 14-3. Look at, every sack category is lopsided to the Saints except for I guess the fouls are lopsided to them as well, as they've had more than Alaska Anchorage. But, the first half was just one of dominance.
Dominance, a good word, Scott. And you look at the score, your eyes are not deceiving you. And St. Martin's more than doubling up on the scoreboard. A big reason for that, they're doing it by their field goal shooting. 61% in the first half, 61% to 33 for the Seawolves. Anytime there's that big a disparity, that's how you're going to get this on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and I mentioned in the first half, it's not like UAA is playing, but well, of course now, right as I say that, they have a turnover, but that was Shaquem thinking big, as that was nearly a steal and all the way for an Al Cinder dunk, but he just lost the grip on it. Maybe somebody pawed it away from him, then he stepped out. But other than that turnover that just happened, it's not like UAA has been absolutely horrible. They've forced some tough shots, but it's been good ball movement leading to open shots and then just missed shots on the Anchorage side. They only have 6 turnovers. That's not a huge number, but they haven't forced as many. They have 0 steals due to the Seawolves as a team. That just shows kind of the perfection offensively that the Saints are playing with.
2 on the shot clock.
Just barely got that one off, did Hoosier. Good job by the Seawolves bench to make their big man aware of that. Foul called. Thought they were going to call a stutter step, as we're hopefully not going to get too close of a whistle on some of these guys, but that one seemed fairly minimal contact under the basket on a Seawolf. That was Hoosier called for it. Shaquem Al-Cinder going to work before it's poked away and then falling out of bounds and touching the ball was Tyson Gilbert. Saints are going to get not a fresh 20 or 30 on the shot clock, so they should be aware that there's 9 to go as they inbound from the baseline. Skinny will do the inbounding.
I often wonder, there's 3 officials on the floor. How do they not see Gilbert get checked?
Yeah, Greeley kind of gave him something there. Long 3 needed. Oh, my word. Stop it. It seems some of the vibes from the first half are still going, as that was ridiculous from Skinny. The rebound was taken away from Shaquem Al-Cinder there. And now we're going to have a stoppage in play, as I don't think the shot clock reset on time. Did you hear a buzzer, too, there when the ball was being brought down? I don't know if that was just – I guess that was just me hearing weird stuff. But they're going to give him a fresh 30 because it was a steal. And they said Shaquem had possession down there. That was ridiculous. That Skinny shot. I mean, he was right next to Ibrahim Mustafa putting in stats on the scorers table, and that's deep. Hoosier.
Saints have been NBA Jam on fire all evening. Somebody put in the cheat code before the game.
Yeah, that was in the distance of the 4-point shot right there.
I've seen a few of those in my day.
Yeah. Might see some this weekend, eh?
Correct, tomorrow. See if the Washington Generals can get one over.
They're both green and yellow, right?
Hey.
The Seawolves and the Generals, and right now both kind of getting the general treatment, it seems.
If this game's any indication, not a good sign for the Generals.
It is not. It is not. Shaquem going to work on the low block. Hoosier. Hook shot. Doesn't go. Bounced
Boing,
around.
boing.
Hunter Sipe called for the foul. Evan Hoosier, he is just a sophomore, hometown kid out of Anchorage, Alaska. He's a guy that I mentioned, plays on average less than 8 minutes a game. But for whatever reason, whether it's the matchup with Shaquem Alcindor, they want Hoosier on the floor to try and stop and have some beef to deal with Big Shaquem. Problem is that despite Shaquem not going crazy, there also hasn't been much to do for Hoosier, and Hoosier there just traveled, and it's going the other way. Press being put on by the Seawolves, 64-31. The Saints, ever since their 21-0 run, have essentially doubled up the performance from the Seawolves. They still are keeping pace to that, over double the score. This one is Kyle Greeley being pushed out, and you mentioned earlier they missed the call on Greeley pushing Gilbert. Maybe there he got a check, got pushed out. It all evens out in the end sometimes.
All but the score.
Scores.
In this one.
Not even in this one, yeah.
The first game of the double dip, that score evened out until the very end.
Man, I hope. If not, you guys can, it's on demand. You can watch it back. Sean and I took you through every moment. It was a blast, that first game. You did not know who was going to win it until the buzzer rang at the end. St. Martin women's team coming up with their first win since 2014 against UAA. Missed shot, rebound, Skinny. Leading a fast break to Sipe. One dribble, pop. Brandon Bunn out to Skinny. Then Greeley, KG misses it. Offensive board, slapped away, and it will stay with SMU.
Breaking news, the Saints are only shooting 59%. They've cooled off by 2% in the half.
Offensive struggles, it seems. Sipe, well, the old reverse jinx. Bada bing, Sipe from downtown.
He heard us and had to change it.
Yeah, wow. There's everybody except for Shaquem really on this team can hit a three. And Shaquem is just such a force in the middle that you don't need him to go out there and hit a bunch of threes. That one hits the shot clock after bouncing off the rim. Missed shot going the other way to the Saints. Coming the other way now, give you a little bit of an update from around the GNAC in men's basketball. And there are some scores that happen tonight that are really important for the Saints. Most notably, Seattle Pacific hosted MSU Billings, the two teams atop the conference, as KG all the way. The two teams atop the conference, Seattle Pacific, MSUB. MSUB was undefeated. They were ranked the highest out of any GNAC school, especially after their big win over SMU last week. And they tripped up for the first time in GNAC play. They lost at Seattle Pacific, which the important part for the Saints is that puts them in charge of their own destiny with a game against MSUB at home and a game against SPU at home. They just have one loss more than both SPU and Billings. We'll talk more about around the GNAC when we come back from this media break. It's 69-31 Saints. back here. Like I was going into that timeout talking about, it's now MSUB and Seattle Pacific at 8-1 each. They are atop the conference. St. Martin's, if they're able to close this one out with a 38-point lead and 15 minutes to go, they will be just one game behind both the Falcons and the Yellow Jackets. There's a block from Shaquem Alcindor to start us off out of the media timeout. Now wide open under the basket. First shot's blocked, second shot put back in. First look at Wojtek Ruzek, the Czech Republican. Is that the correct verbiage? The man from the Czech Republic checking in for the first time. There's a three-pointer up and in. Dathan Satchel.
34 points so far tonight for the Seawolves. Scott, their lowest point total back on January 7th, a loss at Northwest Nazarene.
Jesus.
As we almost got the ball up here in the penthouse.
I'll tell you what, when I'm broadcasting baseball games, sometimes I'm on my toes about, in case a foul ball comes towards me in an open window. Never have I been scared up in this penthouse basketball about a basketball coming at us. Went a little bit to our right there. I'm not worried about if the ball comes here. I'm worried about our computer up here, and I'm worried about Zane Leposki, our cameraman. But I'm sure he would slap that ball away. He'd go full Shaquem on it and just send it right back.
And let's not forget Sydney. She's a little fragile.
Oh, my goodness. Brandon Bunn had poster on his mind. Hunter Seipel missed the three. It goes to Brandon Bunn before it's poked away. Brandon Bunn, we saw him with a big poster down in Western Oregon. He was really trying to show somebody there. As that three-pointer's missed out of bounds, it'll stay with the Seawolves.
As I started to say before the basketball interrupted things up here at the sky view level of Marcus Pavilion, 47 points, lowest scored by the Seawolves this season back on January 7th at Northwest Nazarene. The crazier part, Northwest Nazarene won by scoring 48. What a low-scoring game.
48. Yeah, the Saints are going to put in that combined margin, it seems. So I'm trying to do math real quick in my head. That's 95 points. The Saints are on pace to get that right now, but Anchorage, right as you start to talk about their lowest point scorer, they're trying to do their best to beat it. They only got 10 points to get, and they should have plenty of time to do that. Champ Spencer. That's in. Saints exactly double what the Seawolves have right now. That's been kind of the ballpark of what it's been most game.
Spencer now with 12, all on three-pointers, 4 threes.
It's efficiency. Missed shot, rebound, Tyke Thompson. Tyke Thompson probably getting limited minutes because of that hand-thumb injury. Skinny with it. He'll take his time. Plant and fire. 77-37. The lead's 40 for SMU.
58% shooting from beyond the arc for St. Martin's.
Offensive foul. That was Christian Hafner. When you talk about Christian Hafner, the highlight that you can always bring up first is his shooting ability. But he is a guy that is very fundamentally sound. He'll always make those tough plays, and he's not the biggest customer on the court at 6'2", but he would gladly just stand in there and take one to force the turnover. 5 on the floor for SMU. Skinny, Thompson, Champ Spencer, Stokes, and Hafner. Thompson from long range, 80. Coming the other way now. Floater put up, can't bank it home. Rebound Thompson. High stepping down the sidelines. A no look to Hafner. Hafner holds up. Now it'll be set up with Skinny. Skinny calling off the screen.
Scott, the Saints are now shooting better from three-point than they are from the field.
And they're not shooting bad from the field.
Not at all, but I have never seen this. 59.4 from three, 59.2 from the field. 5 to shoot.
5 to shoot. Skinny fading away. Oh, that would have been something else. Stokes nearly had the rebound. Thompson gets it back. Back to Stokes. Stokes loops it up off the window and in. Even when it doesn't go right, it still goes right.
These Saints will sleep easy tonight. Hey, Coach, why don't you play?
Ball thrown out of bounds, and we will take a break. 45-point edge. Saints leading as we take a break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Saints Digital Network. Back here, it is 82-37, 11:53 to go in the second half. Mentioned the SPU win over Billings, huge win for Seattle Pacific. Western Oregon also picked up a good win at home against Alaska Fairbanks, who St. Martin's beat on Thursday. It was a 61-59 victory over Alaska Fairbanks for Western Oregon. Big for them. Make sure to join us our next home game as Christian Hafner flushes it in. This is a cheat code. This is a cheat code right now. Like I was saying, February 4th versus Western Oregon, as that one's to the bucket and put in by A.J. Garrity. It's just a men's game, no doubleheader, as surely Aaron Landon and the guys will be fired up for that contest, as the last time they faced Western Oregon on this floor, Western Oregon a buzzer beater 3 to knock the Saints tournament title hopes, as well as their conference or their NCAA tournament hopes out the window. This one's Tyke Thompson, won't go in. You were here for that game, and as much as it was this amazing moment for the Western Oregon side, the Saints side, Aaron Landon, all the players that are back on this squad, they're going to remember that game and have it seared in their memory for, kind of as much locker room or bulletin board material that you want to find, right?
I've got that final 5 seconds ready to go on Twitter anytime they want to relive it and get angry.
Yeah, you just retweet it in a couple weeks.
Tag the team,
lead it up,
tag coach,
say
tag the
first
players.
time playing since then.
Hey, fellas.
I'm sure Aaron Landon will appreciate the quick reference to the video to be able to show those guys. I don't know if he's that type. I know that Aaron Landon does something actually with matchups where he really wants, especially for the new guys, to understand the history of the matchup. And so that's the reason why it was kind of hot on his mind that he hadn't beat Anchorage, is because that's something that he goes through with the team, tells them, talks to them about. But I remember before we played Evergreen, because it was a little bit harder to find kind of the past games, there's a missed 3 rebound Thompson. He was asking me and Ibrahim Mustafa, my assistant, about, what's kind of the all-time record between the two, because Evergreen State had a series of time when they were successful in the rivalry. But he's somebody that finds it very important to talk about the history of the two schools and how big a win here or there means. Surely he gave the guys that speech tonight, and I'm sure he won't have to say much when talking about the recent history between Western Oregon and SMU.
Well, there's a lot more than just the play on the court, and there's a lot that goes in to get these teams, these players to this point. And the more they know, understand, and buy in, it can only help the program.
Tyke Thompson with it. He had a bucket on one side, then Anchorage answered with their own. This is Owens, tripped up, but no call there. Going to go down with 9 minutes to go. Devin Owens getting his first timeout on the floor, the Irvine, California native and graduate of JUCO Irvine Valley College.
A lot of forearm.
Yeah,
there.
a lot of forearm. And they're going to call the foul on the other side on Caleb Larson. I think he was just matching kind of the intensity that he got from the forearm bar from Christian Hafner. 40-point lead for SMU. 5 on the floor is Owens, who has the ball right now. Hafner, Thompson, Spencer, and Stokes. Owens with it. Now it's Spencer. Now Hafner. Step back. Christian Hafner.
Of course.
Every time he makes a shot that, I just think, oh, I didn't think he'd make that. That's kind of a ridiculous shot. Then I remember all the times that I see him in the gym working, and I go, well, makes a lot of sense. Offensive rebound, Hoosier, poked away. Grabbed by Owens. Owens heading up the fast break. He'll slow it up. Pass around. Spencer for 3. Champ Spencer can't come up with it. Rebound goes to A.J. Garrity on the Anchorage side. Pass down to Hoosier. Hoosier. Nice move on Champ Spencer. Hoosier, just a sophomore, mentioned he has not played a lot this season coming into this matchup, but definitely somebody that Rusty Osborne wants to continue to give experience to and develop. Stokes missed the first shot. Rebound will be a foul against SMU. Stokes called for it. 90-49 as Anchorage has avoided their lowest scoring output of the season. We'll see if the Saints can hit 100 on the other side of this media timeout. Back here, 7:35 to go in this second half. 90-49, the St. Martin Saints are ahead. Sean, it's been pretty convincing from SMU thus far.
It has, which is a change in the overall scene of this matchup between these two teams. UAA leads 35-11 overall. You wouldn't know it watching this game tonight. UAA also has a 13-7 advantage here in Lacey.
And that 4-game winning streak we mentioned that started the first game that head coach Aaron Landon took charge. They lost both of those games in his inaugural season. They did not play over COVID. Obviously, the Alaska schools really felt the brunt of that being so far away. Hafner from way downtown can't get it to go. And then they lost both games last year despite SMU coming up with a regular season conference title. Three-pointer on the way. Too strong. Bounced around. Rebound, Marcus Lenker, who steps on the floor for the first time. Now Hafner back to Thompson. Thompson then just kind of ran out of space. What? He put, am I seeing things? He put that off of Alaska Anchorage. I don't know what the, okay, yeah. Ref, good call on him. That's one that you don't even look at the ref and try and get the call to go your way because you kind of know what happened. But Our ref just had a little bit of a glitch there. Lanker wide open next to the bucket. Grabs it, fades away, and sinks it. Marcus Lanker
making good use of his time on the floor. Got to stay ready on that bench.
Owens and Lanker out there to join Stokes, Hafner, and Thompson. On the other side, it's Hoosier with it. They're going to double in the corner briefly. Hoosier from the elevated elbow, missed the shot. Hafner rebounds. The other two conference games going on tonight, it's Central Washington at Simon Fraser and Northwest Nazarene at Western Washington. Both those games start in 15 minutes at 7 o'clock. Tyke Thompson with a hand in his face, misses the shot. Rebound, Hoosier.
Paul Rudd versus Tony Dominguez, always a good matchup.
Paul Rudd, that's the head coach of Northwest Nazarene.
That last name is probably wrong. That's the actor, isn't it?
Yeah, that's an actor, yeah. Big shot. I don't know for sure. You know, you've been in this conference longer than I have. But two quick buckets there as just a little too lackadaisical on the inbound. We're going to get that double checked for you. I mean, it's
Rush.
Paul Rush.
Couple letters off.
Yes.
My apologies.
Stokes
Coach
from downtown
Rush.
misses it. Rebound, Lanker. Can't get the shot to go, but will get a foul, Lanker, after the offensive board. I tell you what, if you have a name, if there's probably somebody out there with the name Paul Rudd that is not Paul Rudd.
Not the famous Paul
Not
Rudd.
the famous Paul Rudd. He's still Paul Rudd, he or she. And that's, I think there was a commercial a while back. Paul Rush. Yes, it is Paul Rush, confirmed. But it still will be a great game, no matter if it's Rudd or Rush coaching the Nighthawks. And, you know, if you're Paul Rudd, the fake Paul Rudd, you're probably used to people being really bummed when you walk in the room or something for a reservation or a hotel or whatever like that, you know? Devin Owens tried to make it go, could not get it off the glass, still bounced around. Bryson Dilworth gets it. Owens for three, and again, Stokes nearly grabbed the board, maybe committed a foul on the way, too.
Stokes about to try out for the volleyball squad.
Yeah, that's a three down the hatch on the other side. Dathan Satchel makes it count. 34-point lead for the Saints as Owens, Dilworth, Lanker, Stokes, and Hafner are on the floor. Lanker, acrobatic and off the glass, banks it home. Three-pointer, long one on the way. And now starting to sink some deep shots, but probably too little too late for the Seawolves.
Their 9th three-pointer of the evening, where St. Martin's has made 21.
That was Storms that tried to pick the pocket of Dilworth and collapsed on his lower body essentially and tripped him up. Dilworth, a JUCO product at Everett Community College. We'll take our final break of the night and bring you the final 3:58 when we return. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Saints Digital Network. Back here, it is 94-61 And head coach Rusty Osborne in his 19th season, sitting there on the bench, taking one of his probably hardest losses over those 19, or at least in terms of the conference play, as they're down 33 right now to SMU.
Scott, Coach Osborne has led the Seawolves to 15 straight seasons of being over 500 on the year, and they've been to 5 NCAA tournaments. From Anchorage, that's impressive.
On the side where basketball was happening there was a great putback by Nathaniel Stokes. 96-61 is our score now. Satchel will get 2 shots here. Overall record, 314 wins, 189. You've known this conference, much longer than I have, Sean. The difficulty of recruiting in Alaska. I mean, you've seen so many rosters from the Alaska schools. They have to go nationwide, essentially, because there's just not as much of a hotbed of basketball in Alaska, at least at the D2 level. And, you see a lot of JUCO guys, a lot of guys that have, kind of been probably slept on at points, as this one's blocked out of bounds. Try and, at least from your knowledge, from your expertise, try and take us through, kind of how difficult and maybe at times rewarding it is to be a coach up there in Alaska and, really have to recruit the entire country when you're not even connected to the rest of the country.
Well, a lot of them, they're also recruiting the world. Mm-hmm. I mean, you look, this team right here, Czech Republic, Australia, but this team does have more players from around the country than at home in Alaska. So you've got issues of the good players in Alaska probably want out because all they've known their whole life is the cold, the dark, the sun's out 16 hours a day sometimes, which some people like it, but some want to check out other places. And that's the same thing for people that have been in Lacey their whole life or wherever home is. Some people want to branch out. If you've never been to Alaska, it's very beautiful, but very different than a lot of places. Yeah,
I talking to head coach Aaron Landon of the men's team as we get a nice and one there from Jaden Bradley. Talking to both head coach Aaron Landon and Christy Martin. They talk about their Alaska trip. They say that's about the amount of time they want to spend in Alaska. Sometimes they get to go to a museum over there, a coastal seaway museum or something like that. Anchorage is the biggest city in Alaska, so there is a fair amount of some things to do, some things to see. And Fairbanks, of course, is a really cool town, and there's a lot of interesting history that they, can use to show some of their players. But they're also fine with not spending any more time there.
I bet you they'd have a different perspective if they were there in June, July.
Yes.
Versus
basketball season's the winter.
January.
They get to see the dark days for sure. And, I mean, heck, if you're Rusty Osborne or any Alaska coach, as there's a foul called on the Seawolves, Owens is going to go to the line to shoot 1-on-1. One of your pitches, I guess, you're going to make to guys is, you're here during the winter, but, during the winter when the days are really, really short, you're going to be in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, a good amount of your time playing, down in Lacey, Washington, getting to spend weekends throughout the country. As the front end of the free throws missed, the offensive rebound earned back by Nathaniel Stokes.
And not just Alaska, but Division II in general. You're finding guys that do sometimes slip through the cracks.
Yep.
Maybe some of these guys can definitely play at the D1 level. There's no doubt. But they're making the most of still a very good opportunity playing in Division II, and some playing very well.
Jaron Williams makes the three-pointer, 96-78. The scoreboard getting quite a bit more respectable in the last couple minutes for Anchorage after the first half that everything went wrong for them. Everything went right for SMU. There's a ball thrown away by Bryson Dilworth. Three-pointer missed, and Storms tried to save it but threw it into Christian Hafner. Under 2 minutes to go now. Dilworth with it. Calls for a screen from Marcus Lenker. Lenker gets out of the screen. Now it's Owens with it. Owens to Stokes. Owens going to have an open look. Can't get it to go. Saints chasing 100. If they do get to 100, I'm sure there'll be a good century mark applause from the crowd, but Anchorage making another shot. And head coach Rusty Osborne sitting with his hands on knee and legs crossed as there's a foul on Hafner, and saying, man, I wish we had the shooting in the first half when we were trying to keep pace with the Saints that were just going bonkers. It's going to be called as an offensive. No, never mind. It's not going to be called an offensive foul. Defensive, but Saints need to commit one more to be sending Anchorage to the line in the bonus.
Interesting for the Seawolves. They have their third straight road game coming up next week, the 28th, at their in-state rival, Alaska Fairbanks.
I wonder if they've ever considered taking the train up there. It's a 12-hour train ride from Anchorage to Fairbanks, but for some reason it popped up on my YouTube algorithm, some video that some guy made about that. It was a beautiful train ride, but it's 12 hours compared to a flight that's probably an hour or two. Hopefully they get a chance to do it. Somebody gets a chance to do it. Probably not the optimal team travel.
Be amazing scenery, to say the least.
Yes, yeah. It looked pretty cool. Made me kind of want to do it.
You'll get a chance in Anchorage to see St. Martin's February 16th.
I'm sure as soon as the conclusion of this game, if I'm a Seawolf, I'm marking it on the calendar. Lenker for three. 99-73. If I'm a Seawolf, I'm circling on the calendar because, especially the halftime scoreline, you look at it and you felt disrespected the way that you came out and you got kind of blown out of the gym within the first. I mean, it was over pretty much after the 21-0 run. The Saints never let them believe anything after that. Saints have a 6-second differential between game and shot. They're not looking rushed to take a shot yet. There's 9 left. Owens putting his defender on skates, getting it to Lenker. Lenker gonna miss the shot, but they will have 2 free throws with a chance to crack triple digits. Now it's my trip to see if I can look in the history book and tell you the last time the Saints scored triple digits against a GNAC foe. As I might just jinx it because Lenker just looked up at the scoreboard and realized he had one away from 100. And the student section still bringing it, trying to get the triple digits. Yeah, there it is. 100 from SMU in a GNAC game. 3-pointer on the way, offline, rebound Lenker, and that is ball game. A 27-point victory that really, without some of those garbage time shots, felt a lot bigger than just 29 points. Sean, what can you say about it?
When you shoot over 50% from the field and from 3, hard to lose. Congratulations to Coach Landon. Hard to also believe his first victory against Alaska Anchorage.
Yeah, as I'm scrolling back through the record book, I'm not finding a game last year where he put up over 100, so it might be one of the first times in a while that Aaron Landon, I'll try and do some more research on that. When we come back, we'll have an interview with head coach Aaron Landon, his first post game after beating Alaska Anchorage. We'll see you in just a few minutes. Talk to head coach Aaron Landon.
Here was Saints head coach Aaron Landon after the 100-73 victory over Alaska Anchorage. Coach, does it get easier to coach your team when they're shooting as well as they did tonight?
I don't know if it gets easier to coach them, but the game gets easier to have shot makers. So we always talk about, trying to make the game easier for all of us by building an advantage, and we were able to do that as much as we hit shots. We did a good job putting them in rotations offensively tonight, and that led to a bunch of great shots.
21-0 run for your team in the first half. Really blew this game wide open. What do you tell the team when things are going so well?
Just to stay focused. Because it's a game of runs, you watch they played at Western Oregon on Thursday night. And in the beginning of the second half, they were down 24 at the 9-minute mark. They were down 6. Their team's built to shoot the ball. Game of runs changes if you got a 3-point shooting team, something like a 6-point lead. Normally, like 18 points with the shooting team, it's sort of the same thing. It makes you feel less safe.
A great day for St. Martin's as both your team and the women's team earlier today beat Alaska Anchorage. Your first time, as well as Christy Martin's, in beating Anchorage. What does that say about the program? What does that do for small sense of relief?
Well, for us, we just talked about today we wanted to go 1-0. We talk about that all the time, so I know it's boring. But today what 1-0 meant was, SPU beats Billings. So now Billings has a loss. SPU has a loss, and we've got 2. So 1-0 keeps us 1 game back halfway through conference. And so you can have a conversation with your team about what needs to happen to chase a banner and a championship. If you're 1 game back. If you're 2 games back going into the second half of conference, you need as much luck as you need to play well.
The bigger picture is still out there and attainable.
Sorry, one other thing, though. I totally talked about us. That's a monster win for the women's program. It was a great win for us, too. Anchorage is nationally known and respected as a brand. Remy McCarthy is a great coach. He's selling freaking DVDs about their press. Seriously.
Mayhem.
Mayhem. Championship Productions is selling Mayhem DVDs. And that was just a really special win. Winning close games helps teams build confidence. And they had a rough start. I watched, I think when they were on a skid, I came in and watched practice. Coach Martin was getting after it. Highly spirited practices, and she was coaching her tail off. So I got to celebrate with her after their win. That's a huge win for them. They're getting better, and they're young. Love their point guard play. They're just going to get better and better. They're just a young team right now, and they've got injuries. So that's a really special night for them. I saw her. She stuck around for our game. I'm just really happy for them because seeing the resilience that team has, I watched those girls practice quite a bit, and I was really happy to see that, celebrated with them.
Smiles all around St. Martin's University tonight after the sweep of the Alaska Anchorage Seawolves. Coach, enjoy the road trip next week, and we'll get Christian Hafner in here. Thanks for your time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
On the big game. What's it like when shots are dropping as well as you guys were hitting them tonight?
It was just feeling good. The ball's coming out of the hand pretty well, but a lot of it was ball movement. We were moving the ball really well, finding open shots. Everyone was, getting pretty good looks, so that way it makes it easy.
What does Coach tell you when you're up 20, 30, 40?
Just to keep it going. You don't ever want to take your foot off the gas pedal because those guys can hit shots too. They're up there in threes this year too, so we wanted to make sure we got a comfortable lead and then stayed up on them.
When shots are dropping from beyond the arc, there was a point late in the second half you were close to shooting. There was a moment you shot higher at three-point percentage than from the entire field.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before. It was incredible. Do you guys have, as teammates, as players out there, do you have competition between each other within the game?
Not within the game, but in practice every day. I mean, we have a lot of guys that can shoot the ball. So every day at practice, it's to see who's hitting, who's, how we're guarding. It makes it fun to guard, too, because you have to really get up on people. You can't let them shoot or else they're going to hit shots, and so it really makes you get up and pick them up out beyond the three-point line.
Off to the road for your squad. You get to Western Washington on Thursday and then across the border to Simon Fraser on Saturday. What can this game do moving forward to help you in the GNAC?
Oh, we're really excited. I mean, going forward, hopefully that'll keep catapulting us forward, keep getting better every day, little by little, and then we got some big games coming up. Western Washington, we had a really good one here against them, so now to go on the road and beat them at their place, that's the next step.
Christian Hafner, great night tonight for yourself, for the squad. Enjoy the night, enjoy the victory, and we'll see you when you come back to town.
Yeah, thank you.
Good luck on the road after the 100-73 victory over Alaska Anchorage. Wow, a sweep of the Alaska schools here on this Saturday. Saints move on and head to the road. They will be at Western Washington on Thursday. For everybody here at St. Martin's, for Zane, for Sydney, for Scott Gladstone, Ibrahim Mustafa on Stats. I'm Sean Wally. Thanks for watching. Saints win it 100-73. We'll talk to you in a couple weeks.